Not good evening. Actually, hope you're having a good night. The Dissector, AW Aaron Ward presenting you the Dissect. Yes, this is my dissecting channel where I, the AW Aaron Ward, will analyze YouTubers, articles, news. We'll basically dissect, debunk, give our opinions, our thoughts. We'll have fun. We'll be serious. We'll be joking. Everything. So, if you're checking out my channel for the first time and you like what you see, please do yourself a favor, subscribe. Please. And for your new and current subscribers, do me a favor, smash the like button down below. I really would appreciate it. It would definitely help out a lot. Also, share this out on all social media platforms. I think Blue Sky is open for public now. You'll need a code, just to let you know. So, yeah. So welcome to the title. Yes, we're going to do a triple Whammy. Yes, a triple Whammy. We're going to look at 3 YouTubers. The note, though, depending on the length of time, we might not get to everything that I've planned because I don't want to be here for 3 hours. I want to go to sleep, okay? I want to go to sleep between around 12:30, okay? We'll end around 12:30. So we're going to look at some Campea videos, okay? Campea videos, we're going to talk about Madam Reb and Daredevil. I know I said we're going to look at Grace Randolph. No, she did do a stream today, but the stream today, I didn't find anything important for tonight. We're going to look at Grace Randolph. We might look at Grace Randolph beyond the trailer. And when we look at Grace Randolph, we might, I don't know, like yesterday, we'll take a look at yesterday's stream where she talks about Super Bowl potential trailers. I don't know if I want to look at that, honestly, but who knows. And we're going to look at Doomcock. And when I mean Doomcock, by the way, he's live right now doing a stream. We're not going to watch that stream. Let you all know. We're going to take a look at his video. We might look at 2 videos of Doomcock. 2 videos. So I think we might cancel out Grace and look at John Campea and Doomcock today. John Campea did talk about the Gina Carano stuff, and I'm gonna take a look at it first before we get into our first stream, our actual Marvel stuff with John Campea. Okay. So let's get to the. Okay, we might, yes. So, okay, we're going to get to Campea on Gina Carano stuff too. But so we're going to start with this Marvel stuff. And when I mean Marvel MCU, we're going to cut out Grace. I'm going to edit this stream title. There we go. At this title. No Grace Randolph. But first we're going to look at, I guess we'll go with Madam Reb. And to let you all know, the segment he trimmed out, I hope the grass you there, buddy. the segment trimmed out is about 20 minutes long of the Madam Web stuff, and we're gonna definitely do that. Oh man, I gotta go. You're all free to come on, guys. If you got an invitation, all free to come on. If you're backstage, I'll give you a few minutes. Give me a few minutes. I gotta go bathroom again. Be back. Back. We're gonna pull up this video. Madam Web embargo update is concerning. 20 minutes long, but we're gonna listen to it. Oh, he's laughing.
It is now officially 8 days away. 1 week from tomorrow. A cinematic.
Oh, I'll let you know, this movie does come out Wednesday. Next week. It does come on Valentine's Day. It's not coming out Thursday or Friday. It does come out Valentine's Day next week. But that doesn't matter.
Cinematic event of a lifetime happens as Madam Web opens up in theaters. Now, despite some initial interest that I mean, look, I was like everybody else. When they announced Madam Web, I was like, who? I mean, why? Why are you doing a Madam Web? Who's asking for a Madam Web movie? But all right, yeah, try something different. Okay, that's fine. So, I love Venom, so give it a shot, whatever. And then the premise got announced a long time ago. And the premise, to me, kind of changed my tune on it. The premise came out, and I was like, this kind of sounds interesting. It's a little bit of Terminator with a little bit of Spider-Man, with a little bit of, something else in there. I thought, this premise could be really good. I really do like Dakota Johnson. I think she's a terrific actress. So I was like, all right, yeah, I'm on board. Let's see how this turns out. And then the first trailer came out.
Nothing so far.
And the first trailer was concerning because not that a trailer has ever been a good indicator about whether a movie's going to be good or not, but the trailer was concerning.
Facts.
Fact that all the lines said in the trailer was some of the most wooden spoken lines that I've heard in a long time.
It was bad.
He was with my mother, who was researching spiders in the jungle. Okay. It became a little bit concerning. Then
it sounds like soap. It sounds like a soap opera. It sounds like how soap operas are filmed. The actors and actresses in soap operas, you could tell how they're acting it. That's what the tone of their voice sounds like. The way I wonder if John Campea should do soap operas.
We were reminded of the fact that this is a movie that's written by Matt Sazma and Burke Sharpless, who, in case we forgot, wrote such hit movies as Morbius and Gods of Egypt and The Last Witch Hunter and Dracula Untold, to which we all went, how do these people still have work? How do they still have jobs? And now, granted.
Obviously, we want people to get work, right? Obviously, we want people to get work, but right, we don't want them to not get work. But seriously, if you that track record, Dracula Untold, Last Witch Hunter, Gods of Egypt, Power Rangers, even though I like Power Rangers, not all of those were not hits, and a lot of those were bad movies. So, and Morbius. So, I don't know why these writers are getting jobs on such major Hollywood movies, major movies. They gotta have something, because track record, that's not a good track record. Not a good track record. And I certainly wouldn't hire someone to helm my film, to write for my film, my TV show, if their past projects were bombs, were not well received, didn't do financially well, were not generally received, not financial bombs, and not I'm sorry, I'm sorry, you don't want people to not have jobs, it's just that, but it just makes you question. But let's continue on.
They also wrote Lost in Space, which is pretty good. I didn't think it was great, but I thought the Netflix Lost in Space series was pretty good. So I'll give them that. Well, now forget it. Because Sony has just told the world that they don't believe in this movie. And you know what I always say? Hey, studio, if you don't believe in your movie, why should I? This comes us from the director who wrote the following. The review embargo for Sony Pictures' upcoming Madam Web will lift at 9 a.m. on Tuesday, February 13th. For those of you keeping score, that's the day before the movie comes out.
Yes, Tuesday.
This means the first reviews of the movie will only be released as early as the day before the movie's theatrical debut on Wednesday, February 14th. Though not necessarily the case, an embargo lift so close to a movie's release can indicate a lack of confidence. I've been telling you guys that for almost a decade. A confidence in a project from studios, possibly since there's less time for negative reviews to circulate before the public release. Okay, look.
The key to great skin is exfoliating and moisturizing. Old Spice gives me both.
My name's Miles Morales. I'm Brooklyn's one and only Spider-Man. Being Spider-Man is a sacrifice.
Hey, by the way, you see this Crave Degrassi? This Crave TV ad? That's in Canada. That's how we get to watch HBO Max. Crave is our HBO Max service in Canada. Let you all know.
This to me is the death nail. This to me is it. This is Sony themselves saying, we have no faith in this movie. Listen, we are still we are 1 week away from the movie. There's just only been one official trailer.
Yeah, that's
been
true.
A couple of TV spots that have been like remixes of the trailer and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Generally speaking, you got three major trailers that come out for film. They've only sat on one. That basically tells me they couldn't find anything in the movie to even make it look good.
Usually by now,
because they tried.
Movies usually have 3 trailers, right? 3 to 6 months in advance, and then about 2 to 4 months in advance, the second trailer comes, and about a week to 2 weeks before the movie comes out, they have a third trailer, right? This movie had only one trailer. They're probably like, you know what? Let's just release it. This is release it in theaters and get it over with. Let's get it over with because they know it's gonna be bad. Might as well get it over with. We know it's gonna be bad. We're not gonna make that much money. We'll just make as much as we can. We know we're not gonna make profit. We're not gonna make even. We know this movie is gonna get. They know this movie is gonna be a bum jokes like Morbius was. Sony was so stupid. Morbius when they put it back for theaters, they thought they were gonna make. They thought the Morbid Time, whatever, from the Power Rangers. They thought people were really seriously about that. No, people were seriously about making fun of that. They were joking around with that. It was a joke in a mocking kind of way. But let's continue.
When is the Super Bowl?
Super Bowl is
next weekend?
This coming week, yeah.
Oh, this coming weekend?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll drop one more trailer?
Yeah, like 2 days. Maybe.
Spend all that money? Oh, no way.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
Sony, I mean, that's the thing. Sony clearly has zero belief in this film.
All right, you're right.
Yeah.
And listen, over the years, like I said, I've been trying to tell people for like a decade, when this happens, it is a massive red flag. And almost every time with every movie that's happened with, I inevitably hear from a lot of fans, no, John, you just don't understand. They're trying to keep the secrets. They're trying to keep the surprises hidden. That's why they hold the review embargo. And while that has been true once or twice in history,
Secrets out.
99% of the time, it's like, no, turns out they just didn't want the reviews to get up because the movie's bad.
Did they do
Yeah.
that for No Way Home? Do we remember if the reviews?
The first reactions for No Way Home came out like a good week before or more
Okay.
before that movie came out.
You know,
Yeah.
there's certain types of movies where you see the trailer and you're like, I want to go see how horrible this is. Like, does that sound weird? Like to want to go see a movie knowing it's horrible just to see how horrible it is? Like, Dude, Where's My Car? I knew that movie's gonna be horrible. I went to the theaters and watched it.
No, listen, Ray, listen. Nobody goes to a movie is to see a horrible movie. Nobody wants to go to a movie to see a horrible movie, okay? They want to be entertained, right? Stuff like that. Right? You don't go to I'm not paying my hard-earned ticket to see a horrible movie. If I'm going to a movie, I'm paying to be entertained and not hate what I watch. Okay. Nobody pays to watch a horrible movie. Okay. If they know, sometimes you don't know if a movie's gonna be horrible or not. But seriously, like no, and horrible people don't, and that's not gonna work anyway. Okay. People just don't pay to see a horrible movie. When you tell someone, oh yeah, I went to see this horrible movie. You say tell someone to a friend or a family member, yeah, I went to see this horrible movie. I really want to see this horrible movie. They'll be like, why? People will be like, why would you want to see this horrible movie knowing it's horrible? Why would he do that? No normal person would be like that. Who pays to see a horrible movie?
And it was. So it's like this one I want to go see, but for all the wrong reasons. You know what I mean?
It's like wanting to go watch a car crash.
Yeah. But you know what? It's Spider-Man. It revolves around that universe. I'm gonna see it because I love Spider-Man. Spider-Man's in my top.
But listen,
Okay. Which Spider-Man? You gotta remember, this movie is in a different universe than all the other Spider-Man related movies that we got. The Venom and Morbius verse, this is not part of that universe. The Tobey Maguire universe, not part of that. The Andrew Garfield universe, not even part of that. The main MCU universe, 616, is not part of that. The one Tom Holland's in is not part of that. So how do you know Spider-Man exists? Maybe Spider-Man doesn't exist in this universe.
I'm going to go see it too. I'm still going to go see it. Look, when it comes to the Sonyverse, here's the thing. Obviously, I still contend 100% that Sony alone has made the two best Spider-Man movies ever, with Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and let me rephrase. They've made the three best Spider-Man movies ever. They made Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2 and then the animated Into the Spider-Verse and the animated Across the Spider-Verse. No Marvel Spider-Man movie has been as good as those three. Sony has exclusively made the best Spider-Man movies. That being said, while I really liked Venom a lot, I had a ball with that movie. And I enjoyed the second one. It was a step down.
There's no excuse for why the live action Spider-Man universe, besides the Tom Holland, is not generally well received. Venom didn't make money, but it's no excuse. It's no excuse. It's no excuse. Laziness is not an excuse. Okay. See, he didn't like Venom. See, the both Venoms. It's not an excuse. Okay, it's not an excuse.
But I enjoyed. Morbius was the type of bad that if you were watching a TV show about movie actors and one of them just made a real stinker, it would have been Morbius.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it was terrible and it was bad. And I have to wonder at this point, because there's a lot of things Sony does that I really like. I'm a Sony fan. I am. But I have to ask the question, what are you doing? Because you went into this movie. First of all, you decided to make a Madam Web movie.
What do you think?
Okay. Hopefully you got some killer idea, whatever.
What do you think, Campea? Is it obvious why they're doing this? They want to they're feuding with Disney, and they want to keep making Spider-Man related projects, so the film rights doesn't revert back to Disney. Okay. So they don't care about the quality of the Spider-Man related films. They just care about keeping the film rights to Spider-Man related films. That's it. Because they know if they don't make anything Spider-Man related, the rights could go back to Disney. And you know the MCU Marvel Studios want full control of Spider-Man. Okay, everything Spider-Man, they want full control. They really want full control of the film side of things, Okay, they want full control. That's the reason why. Okay, it's not me being conspiracy theorist here, because it's just obvious. Okay, let's continue.
Whatever. But you went into this movie knowing that you hired the writers of Morbius, which sucked, and it was your movie.
Mm-hmm.
The writers of Gods of Egypt, the writers of the and I love me Vin Diesel, but Vin Diesel's The Last Witch Hunter, which was terrible.
Oh, I forgot.
And Dracula Untold.
Maybe they're tax loss harvesting.
Well, you remember the Nathan Lane, The Producers?
Yeah.
Where these two guys purposefully try to make a musical that completely bombs.
Right.
Is this Sony intentionally trying to make a bomb?
Yeah.
Like, you got to know going into it, you hire possibly the worst writers you possibly could hire for a comic book film with the track record they have. Then you put out a real wooden trailer. Then you don't put out any more trailers. And then you're holding the review embargo until the day before the movie comes out. What are you doing? I have to ask Sony, what's your plan? Guys, we want to take a second to thank a sponsor of this video, DraftKings. DraftKings, your lineup and all retired in the 90s. And they don't even give them a real basketball court to play on. Like, I have to look at Sony right now and say, are you even trying? Now, I will usually fire back at my other fellow fans who will say, oh, this studio isn't even trying. And I'm like, listen, everybody's always trying to do their best, but it's hard to make a good movie, right? It's almost impossible to make a good movie. Everybody starts out making a movie thinking you're already writing your Oscar acceptance speech in your head. Okay, everybody does. And so I'll often fire back. But in this case, I have to look at this and I have to legitimately ask the executives of Sony, are you even trying? What's the plan here? Because this is a joke.
Mm-hmm.
This is I haven't even seen the movie yet. But it's become clear to me Sony doesn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not putting any money behind it.
Mm-hmm.
They're not putting any marketing into it.
Yeah.
They're not even letting the reviews come out. And they're hiring the cheapest bottom of the barrel writers they possibly can. What's the plan?
Mm-hmm.
I can look at DC, right? And even though the DCEU had its struggles, they swung for the fences, right? They may have tripped, they may have fallen on their faces, but they always tried. Even when they made something bad, they were trying. Some people don't like Flash. That's fine. I thought Flash was an ambitious, swinging for the fences kind of movie.
Yeah.
I didn't like The Birds of Prey and the Fabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. But you know what? I can look at that movie, and even though I don't like it, I can say, they really were going for it. Like, they were trying, right?
Yeah. Remember, I think it was Anthony DeGrassi. Remember he said there was going to be merch up for sale at the end of January, early February. Well, I checked. There's nothing for Madam Web. Nothing up for Madam Web. No Funkles, no action figures, nothing for Madam Web. They're not even bothering selling merchandise. This film is basically, let's just get it out there and do whatever. Okay, do whatever. And see where this leads. Ian McGregor? I don't know. I didn't like the movie. Okay, let's continue.
Even in Marvel's bad movies, like I look at Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, right? I can look at that movie and I can say, man, there's so much wrong with this movie. But you could see they were swinging for it. I mean, they were trying.
Mhm.
I am looking right now at Sony outside of their animated stuff because they're killing it with Spider-Verse.
Every Marvel movie, MCU movie, they're trying. They're trying.
They're absolutely killing it with their Spider-Verse stuff. 100% they are. But outside of Tom Hardy, what are you doing? I don't even see you trying.
Yeah.
And if you say you're trying, you're fucking incompetent. Then that's just the bottom line. You're fucking incompetent. And now I've gone from a place of being maybe naively, hopefully optimistic.
He brings up a good point because they're definitely trying on the Spider-Man verse, right? The Miles Morales Spider-Man verse. There you can tell they're actually putting effort in here. Where with this is different. With Madame Web, I think Venom is a little bit more. I think they did try Venom, but Morbius, Venom, stuff like this, they're not even trying. It's about just keeping the film rights, the Spider-Man lore. That's it. That's it. That's it.
Mystic about Craven the Hunter and whatever else they've got coming down. El Muerto, if that actually even, I guarantee you that movie's not going to happen. And I've gone from that.
Here's the thing. I know some people don't like Tom Holland Spider-Man, and Marvel Studios needs to get the Spider-Man film rights under full control. I know we're down on Marvel Studios right now, but I think it'd be beneficial for the Spider-Man lore to be in the hands of Marvel Studios. All of it. Because I guarantee you it would be better. Even the worst film that they would make, Marvel Studios would be better than this film, or maybe even Craven. It would just be better hands back with Marvel Studios. And I really I'm hoping the day comes where Marvel Studios does get control of the film rights of Spider-Man. Because I think the Spider-Man film rights need it. They need it. Whereas under MCU Studios full control. Because this is unacceptable. Unacceptable on the part of Sony. Unacceptable.
That place to a place of, are you just doing this for a tax write-off? Like, what's happening here?
I believe, first of all, Sony is just going through the Spider-Man library and just seeing all the characters and just putting out movies for all of them. But it's all to the point of, I've always said since Morbius that it looks like Sony wants to get that Avengers Endgame where they get all the characters
That's
together.
never going to happen.
And they're concentrating on that and not doing what Marvel did and concentrate on the solo movies, making them quality so people care about that last movie.
So, Avengers Endgame, Craven, Venom, Madame Web, Vulture. What? Avengers Endgame style? Come on, guys. I think anybody that's been paying attention doesn't see that at all. Okay. Maybe there's leading to some event. I don't know. But I really do hope, I really do hope that Marvel Studios does step in and be like, no, you can't do this, man. This is unacceptable. It's not acceptable. Okay? As a Spider-Man fan, this is really unacceptable. You're hurting the brand of Spider-Man this way. Sony is literally hurting the brand of Spider-Man. Even though there is no Spider-Man in these movies, they're still hurting the brand of Spider-Man by making lackluster Spider-Man lore-like movies. Okay? You could hurt your franchise player. Okay. If man,
It all comes together.
Or it's
It feels like they're rushing these.
Or it's like, well, we own the rights to the Spider-Verse. Let's milk this. You know, let's take advantage of this. We have a mandate to use these characters that we own because we're not selling it back to Marvel. And the mandate is just get these films out and do it. And it's just it's
and I would even understand that. But you are going, if you want to just milk it, you're going to get a lot more milk if you make good movies.
Yep.
Yes.
You're going to make more money
Yes.
if you make good movies. And listen, Marvel started off with Iron Man just building towards the Avengers, but they put the time, care, and attention. They went out and got Jon Favreau. They went out and got an Academy Award nominated actor who was on his way back up with Robert Downey Jr.
Milk off
They put a lot of care and attention into that movie. And even though they were just they ended it with Nick Fury, we're doing the Avengers initiative. I mean, they were clearly just trying to build up to the Avengers, but they put love, care, and attention and detail into the individual movies. I sit back now and I look at this now, and I try to be optimistic. Like when we first realized that it was the guys who wrote Gods of Egypt, Last Witch Hunter, Dracula Untold, and Morbius, I try to be optimistic about, okay, well, maybe this time they came up with a killer thing. Sony clearly doesn't think so. So now I'm sitting back and looking, you went out and got the absolute bottom of the barrel writers that you could that have already failed spectacularly in your own cinematic universe with Morbius. We've seen nothing to suggest that we're going to get anything different. And I feel bad. Like I'm sure the guys who wrote this stuff, like I'm sure Matt and his writing partner, I'm sure they're probably really nice guys. And I feel bad trashing on somebody's work.
You have more control.
But the reality is if you're Sony and you're coming out of this, okay, best meals come from the best ingredients. What are we going to start with? Let's start with the guys who wrote Morbius. You're fucking not trying. You're not trying. Yeah. You are not trying to put out the best product that you can. So if you're just saying it's a money grab, you're going to get a fuck lot more money if you put more care into it. If you want to build up to your own Avengers, fine. Marvel did that too, but you're going to get there if you make good individual movies, and you don't make good individual movies if you start with the building blocks of bottom of the barrel. So like what are we doing?
Venom was a great starting point.
It
though.
was.
That first
it could have been.
That was like their Iron Man right there. And they had it right there. Just it seems like they're not going to get any more trust from the audience if they keep releasing these things. If Kraven is bad, it's going to be like, who cares about this last thing?
And at this point, now that I've seen Sony's even given up on this Madam Web movie, I've lost my hope in Kraven. And I have been naively, optimistically hopeful for Kraven. Have I not?
Yeah.
Have I not been hopeful for Kraven?
It's been a little much.
Have I not been
some people think too much.
Have I not?
A little,
but that's gone now.
A little extra right there.
That's gone. That naive optimism is now gone. I have no reason to believe in any of this shit because clearly Sony doesn't believe in it. And they're not even trying. DC tried.
As much as we, I'm sorry, just basic. As much as we dunk on him, he does have a point. He does have a point that after this, why should people be optimistic? Why should he be optimistic about Kraven? He's right.
Right. Yep. Love or hate Marvel, they try.
Well, they put the budget in.
These guys aren't even trying.
So they put a character that no one cared about,
with writers nobody cared about,
and in a movie that's going to end up being terrible. You're destroying all the properties you have.
You are here's the problem that some studios don't seem to grasp.
You know what this is? There's this wrestling group in the 90s called the Job Squad, right? And the wrestling, the term doing the job, right, means a bunch of wrestlers are not there. They're not there to meant to be big, but they're meant to make they're meant to make other wrestlers look good, right? Look good, right? Strong and good, right? So they're basically there to lose, but to help other wrestlers look strong and good, right? Squash matches usually. There's a group called the Job Squad make fun of that. Al Snow, Bob Holly, Blue Meanie, and Tuco Scorpio. It's like it's like Sony has an Spider-Man stuff. They have their own Job Squad. Yeah, I know, Gio. Gio.
Asp. You're not only wrecking this movie, you are wrecking the potential for any movies you try to do later in this universe.
Exactly.
Right? People do not look at these films anymore as isolated events. You put out a great movie, you get people excited about what you have next. You put out a piece of garbage, you make people lose faith in what you have coming out next.
Yeah.
It's all connected. And again, for a studio that does a lot right
when it's consistent,
in other areas of their business.
Look. Here's the thing. When you're building a universe, right? You want consistency, right? And you want positive consistency. You want good. You want movie after movie to be good, and that's part of that universe, right? You don't want inconsistency, right? Because the thing is, people get tired of inconsistency, and Marvel has had both consistency and inconsistency. You know what? Bad. The thing with this, you could be consistent with Sonic. You could be consistent, but in a negative way, making bad movies over and over. You can at least say they're consistent, but when I say that, I say it sarcastically, right? Right? Consistency is always better than inconsistency, but bad consistently. If you're bad consistently, that's worse than inconsistently. Okay. It's like sports, man. You want to be consistent. Okay, you want to be inconsistent.
What they're doing here with Madam Web, seriously, this movie right now is proving what David Zaslav did was right when he killed the Batgirl movie.
Yeah.
That's exactly what Sony just should have done with this Madam.
Oh.
The moment they realize that this movie was crap, because clearly they think it's crap because they're not lifting the review embargo to the day before. The moment Sony realized this movie was crap, they simply should have axed it. Because they might be saving their future movies.
Right.
You know what? I bet I haven't seen this on Twitter on X. Anybody saying that? Me personally, saying that Sony should access the movie. But I bet you there are people, because obviously I don't search everybody. But I bet you there are people suggesting that too. The idea that they should access the movie.
And the climate is kind of changing. It's a scary time to have a franchise right now, because one bad movie, the audience could turn their back on you right away.
Oh, but they have.
Before, remember Iron Man 2 wasn't as good as Iron Man 1, whatever. People still want to go see Iron Man 3. It feels like that wouldn't happen right now. People would completely ditch Iron Man 3.
Even Iron Man 2 was no Morbius.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
As bad as Thor 2 was or whatever, none of them were Morbius.
The fact that I can go back and
Iron Man 3 had the benefit of coming after Avengers, right? Coming after Avengers. Despite a lot of people not liking it, people did go see it because of Avengers. The benefit of Avengers. Okay. Thor also did have the benefit of coming after Avengers 2, despite how bad of it. Bad. And Marvel has been getting away with that for some time because of the goodwill. But if you notice the past few years, it's not the same anymore with Marvel. It's not the same anymore with Marvel. That goodwill, it's gone.
watch Thor 2 and be like, oh, you know what? This is actually better than I remember. Like there's things that it involves the what do you call it? Infinity Saga a little more than I realized the first time I saw it. But you're not gonna get that from Morbius.
And let's talk about Morbius for a second. Even Morbius, right? Every studio will put out a movie that falls on its face, right? Every studio does. It happens. Okay. So you lick your wounds, you learn your lessons, and you move forward. Sony moved forward by just bringing back the same writers who wrote that piece of garbage. I'm sitting here trying to let that sink in. I wish I was a fly on the wall in the executive offices of Sony when they were discussing, hey, okay, got an idea. Okay, let's do Madam Web. Actually, that's a really obscure character. That could be kind of cool. Worked for Marvel when they pulled the Guardians of the Galaxy out. Maybe that'd be kind of cool. Okay, yeah, but listen, here's what I got, Bob.
Campea will play.
You know our Morbius movie? Oh, don't remind me, dude. We just took a bath on that. We got hammered. Oh, yeah, I know. But what about bringing back the writers from that to do this next one? I want to hear that conversation. How did that unfold?
They're free.
Do the writers have pictures of the
They're
president
free.
sleeping with the CEO's wife? Is that how this happened?
They're free.
I don't know.
Yeah, they might be free.
Or they're just free.
Discounted.
We'll do it for the parking spaces and lunch.
Oh man.
I don't know.
No.
It's at any rate.
Well, we're still going to see it. We'll have our review.
Listen, I'm still going to go see it.
But
I'm just saying, like, and you might be asking yourself, like, John, why are you so adamant about this when you haven't seen the movie yet? Sony's seen it, and they just told me they didn't like it by not lifting the review embargo until the day
let me see
before.
how long.
Watch Campea like it. Watch Campea like the
It's
movie.
long and
Because
probably long enough.
sometimes-
Watch
yeah.
Campea like
Probably,
the movie.
but you don't even have the confidence to put out a second trailer.
No.
You're like, you know what? Let's just cut bait.
I've been wanting to see it because I want to know what that Spider-Man suited Spider-Man is all about. What that thing is doing in the trailer, and I have no.
Listen,
sense.
anyway,
Uh,
guys, question is for you. I'm sure none of you are surprised by this, but what do you think about Sony not letting people even reveal their reviews of this movie until 24 hours before the movie even comes out? You clearly know how I feel about it. What do you guys think? Whatever your thoughts are, jump into the comment section below and leave your thoughts there.
Okay.
Hey guys,
Okay. You can clearly tell John Campea has lost faith in Sony. We lost faith in Sony a long time ago with Spider-Man. You know what? There's a lot of stuff I kind of agree with him here. It's, like the grass said, is obvious. And he didn't really say anything that's crazy, I would say. That would be something that the audience, who the people are listening to, be like, "Oh my God, what did he say? What did he just say? He said something really stupid or whatever." There was nothing here in this video. But with that, man, let's move on to something else. Let's see. So I did one video. I did a 20-minute video in 42 minutes. I don't like doing that. Oh, by the way, the Pedro Pascal report that came out today that said discussion film that said he was officially cast as Fantastic Four. I clicked on the source. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say that. And he's going to start production of Fantastic Four. It doesn't say that in the source that the discussion film put down. It does not say that. The discussion film was misleading their followers. Once again. And it's not the first time discussion films misled their followers. Let you all know. Okay? So let you all know that. The Pedro Pascal stuff. And he's been cast in another film today that supposedly is going to start shooting after Last of Us. So how could Pedro Pascal be shooting Fantastic Four if he's going to be shooting this other film for A24? And also, I know he doesn't do much filming. I know he's not doesn't do much filming for Mando and Grogu for Mandalorian, but the Mando and Grogu movie is supposedly coming out in 2026. So, okay. So there's a lot of things there. So a lot of things don't add up, and what people think Pedro is going to be Mr. Fantastic Adventures. I could be wrong, but there's a lot of things that are looking at obstacles in his way. Okay. You know what? Let's skip the Daredevil stuff. That's not important. It's just you know what? It's just a new suit. Let's go to Gina Carano. Let's talk about Gina Carano, and we'll get it from John Campea. So for John Campea, when he's discussing Gina Carano, okay? When he's talking about Gina Carano, this does not come out from his show today. It's the afternoon show where he trims the segments. This came from Open Mic. He talks about Open Mic that he did 5 hours ago. So we're going to listen to Open Mic and see what he has to say. And then we're going to turn to our good friend and buddy and the greatest comedian that YouTube has ever produced, Doomcock. We're going to listen to him on Gina Carano and the stupidity of the possible idea of Elon Musk being interested in purchasing and buying Disney. So give me a minute. This will be my first time. Going over an open mic on this channel. Okay.
You can use the tip link in the live
Yeah.
chat to send in a question. And
We're
as
not
long
gonna
as your
go for
comment
a
or question is
full hour and 50.
appropriate to
There's
be
no
used
way
on
I'm
our
doing a full
show,
hour and 50.
we'll address it here
Let's do the Gina Carano
on
stuff.
the show. Give you guys a heads up. You can tell I just got back from the doctors, actually. I still got my chest inflammation, stuff like that. I'm going to have like a cough and stuff like that probably for another couple of weeks. I feel good. I feel fine. But, so you guys are just going to have to put up with me using a Halls every once in a while or sipping on a lot of liquid. But we'll get through today no matter what. Anyway, good to have you guys here. Now, we're going to start off here, as we always do with open. I always like to pick out a topic to kind of just kick things off with open mic, right?
Here we go.
And I had a few people write to me today after the John Campea show and basically saying, why didn't you make the Gina Carano thing a topic on the John Campea show today? And, we addressed it a little bit yesterday. We addressed this a little bit yesterday on open mic because a few people wrote in and asked, but I figured, okay, let's talk about this for a second. First of all, let me talk about why we didn't do it as a topic on the John Campea show, and then we'll talk about the issue. The reason we didn't do it as a topic on the John Campea show is because it absolutely doesn't matter.
I think see. The thing is, it's not new to Degrassi. I know some. The thing is, my mother had COVID in December. Okay, my mom had COVID in December, right? Nothing serious. She didn't go to the hospital. She wasn't badly sick. Fever for a day or two, cough, and you know what? She wasn't really that sick. It was mild, very mild, right? Okay. Once fully recovered. Now, I'm not saying he had COVID. She was fully recovered. And the cough, they say, is the last thing to go, right? So, she was fine, right? Afterwards, the COVID was gone. She was fine. She might still have a little bit of cough. It was not that serious. So, this is in early December. On Hanukkah, I went to my uncle's to celebrate the third or second, fourth night, whatever Saturday was, Saturday of that night, third or fourth night. My uncle and my cousins, his wife, and my other uncle and aunt was there. They were coughing, right? They did not have COVID at all. But they were coughing, and my mom wasn't coughing in. And then about a week later, she started coughing. I'm like, yeah, I think he caught something from them, right? A cough from them. And then into early January, she had that cough for about 1 or 2 weeks. 1 to 3 weeks, and it went away. So I don't know if it's like that. Maybe I don't know if maybe he just caught a cough, and sometimes coughs could take a couple weeks right. I don't know. Like maybe Degrassi. I don't know. That's a good point.
Like, for instance, when we were talking about, say, the Ezra Miller situation, right? Like, I don't really care a lot about TMZ stuff, who's going to court, who's suing who. With the Ezra Miller situation, Ezra Miller
Oh yeah,
was
remember he got
one of
all
the
riled
main
up?
Justice League members in a big cinematic universe. And the question about how will this affect that big cinematic universe? How will this affect the movies that we have coming up? Because we had a big Flash movie coming up that he was going to be in. And it was directly
Didn't he go ballistic? I remember going
implicated
ballistic.
the movies we were watching, right? It was a direct story connected with the current stuff we were watching, the big DCU, he's Flash, what's going to happen, all that kind of stuff. So we talked about the Ezra Miller stuff ad nauseum, as a matter of fact. The Jonathan Majors stuff. I mean, Jonathan Majors is or was the big bad of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. The whole future, or the immediate future, was going to revolve around Kang. And was he going to be Kang anymore? And this, what's going on in court, will have a direct impact on what is or isn't going to be happening in these big Marvel Cinematic Universes and all this kind of stuff. He's one of the hottest actors.
Degrassi. I was going to say this. With the Gina Carano thing, you think Jonathan Majors might sue Disney?
In the world and blah, 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 right? So we talked about it. Gina Carano is a D-list,
Not Mia Goth.
talentless nobody in the business who was in one movie where they had to overdub her entire voice because she was that bad. She was in another movie, Deadpool, where she literally had like 6 lines. And then the heavens smiled down on her and she got a role in Mandalorian, which, by the way, I like her in The Mandalorian. Just for the record, I thought she was good in The Mandalorian. I really, I mean, she wasn't going to win any Emmys, but I thought she was really good in The Mandalorian. So take that, you know? And I really loved her as a mixed martial artist. Like, the only fight she lost in her MMA career up to that point was against Chris Cyborg, which everybody lost to Chris Cyborg. And then later on, and she gave Cyborg a hell of a fight. And then later on, Cyborg got busted for steroids. So the only real girl Gina Carano lost in her MMA career to was to an unstoppable machine who people then later find out was on steroids. I mean, I was a big fan of hers as a mixed martial art fighter, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I was happy to see her, you know, gaining some traction, especially, I mean, she wasn't great in Deadpool, but she was fine for the 6 lines she had. And I actually
MMA, when they go like, this is the difference between wrestling and MMA fighters that you find in movies and TV shows. MMA fighters cannot act, okay? MMA fighters are terrible at acting. I don't want to see them ever in movies or TV shows, ever, okay? Because they're not good at acting. At least with wrestlers, they can act in a way, okay? Okay?
quite liked her in Mandalorian and all that kind of stuff.
Remember they Wanda Rousey was trying to be a movie star? Oof.
Well, there you go. So, but I mean, listen, I mean, that's really what it is. She is a non-working D-list at best, D-list actress.
Yeah, it's a lot of controversy
that
about that.
has no implications really on anything in the entertainment world right now. And so that, which stands in stark contrast to the Ezra Miller situation, to the Jonathan Majors situation, hell, even to the Johnny Depp situation, which had a direct impact on upcoming movies we would or would not see these people in and all that kind of stuff. The Gina Carano situation simply is not that. I'm not saying it's not a situation that isn't possibly interesting, that could be talked about elsewhere, but I only tend to talk about this type of stuff if it's directly impacting the stuff we are watching now. And the Gina Carano situation just didn't fit that bill.
Yes, it does, Mr. Campea. I'll tell you why. It does fit that bill. Even though this is not going to happen, she's trying to get back to playing into Star Wars. She's trying to get back to playing Cara Dune. That's what she says in the lawsuit. So it does go against what you're just saying here. Okay? So you should cover it, okay? It does affect the entertainment industry. It does affect a Star Wars universe. Okay, so Campea, I'm going to disagree with you here on that.
So that's why we didn't talk about the Gina Carano situation on the main show today. And I'll be honest with you, I told the guys beforehand. Now, this is true. Before the show started, I was sitting down. We were doing a little pre-show run through. And I mentioned, I decided not to do the Gina Carano situation because of all the reasons I just told you. I said, but I'm sure somebody will ask the question. I'm sure somebody will bring it up on the show today. And nobody brought it up. Nobody asked. None of the viewers asked about it or talked about it. So it's like, yeah, that's pretty much how nothing of a story the whole thing is. But since I did have some people write to me afterwards to ask me why we didn't do it and could we comment on it, I figured we would here. So just to catch you guys up a little bit on what the situation. So Gina Carano was, of course, had a role to play in The Mandalorian. And I believe she paid like $25,000 episode. And I honestly can't remember how many episodes she was in. I liked her in the episode she was in, but whatever. So, and they were even planning about building a show around her and a couple of other characters. I believe it was going to be called Rangers of the New Republic. I think that was going to be the name of the show, like a Rangers of the New Republic, and they just killed that entire show. So what happened was Gina Carano got on social media and started saying a lot of stuff. Now, Disney's had other actors before get on social media and say a lot of stuff, and then Disney went to those actors and their representatives and said, hey, listen, as long as you're associated with us and we're associated with you, can you please not do that online? And they stopped. They did the same thing with Gina Carano, and she didn't stop. She just kept going, saying a lot of stuff that was, some of it was just political opinion. Some of it was sheer insanity, but a lot of it was stuff that Disney just said, listen, if we're going to work with you, you're going to be associated with us and we're going to be associated with you. And we don't want to be associated with the stuff that you're talking about publicly. Please stop. She decided not to. The Washington Post wrote this: backlash against the posts sparked a trending hashtag Fire Gina Carano on what was then called Twitter. In a statement at the time, Lucasfilm said that Carano's social media posts denigrated people based on their cultural and religious identities and are abhorrent and unacceptable, and that there was no plans for them to work with her moving forward. On Tuesday, Carano denied making the comparison. The text from her Instagram story, which she deleted, was accompanied by a disturbing Nazi-era photo and argued that before soldiers could easily round up thousands of Jews, the government first made their own neighbors hate them simply for being Jews. How is that any different from hating somebody for their political views? Well, you weren't being rounded up and shot and gassed. Maybe that's considered a little bit of a difference.
Yes.
I don't know. Anyway, in the lawsuit, Carano's attorneys allege that she was fired in retaliation for the lawful exercise of her right to speak and express her views.
It's not like the U.S. government is going around to your house to arrest you, to send you to a concentration camp or a camp, whatever, and then kill you. It's not like they were doing that. They're not doing that. That's the difference. Okay? We don't do that in a democracy. Okay? We don't punish people with different point of views in terms of I said this in my other channel in terms of, now I'm not American, but it's pretty much the same in Canada. We do not punish people by if they could punish people having for having different point of views in a way of like it's against the law. Okay, it's against the law. Say something bad about the government or whatever. We don't punish people for that. Okay, we don't punish people for that in a democracy. But corporate companies have a right to let somebody go if they're harming the company, the image of the company they work for. Here's the thing. The company doesn't represent you. Disney does not represent you, okay? You represent Disney. You signed a contract with Disney. You could say no and not sign the contract. But you signed the contract, you're representing Disney. Okay? And it's their image that they have to protect first over you, okay? Business first. I'm telling you, it's always been business first. Okay? That's the difference between democracy countries, democratic countries, and countries on the other side of the world. We do not punish people for opposite point of views. Okay? We don't arrest people. We don't go to court. Okay? Because I guarantee you, if you said something like that, if you lived in, they say, Russia, China, and you say something like that, and it's not exactly has to be the Holocaust, but something just as bad, you speak out against the Chinese government or whatever, the communist government, you're gonna get or North Korea, for example, you're gonna get a visit. You're gonna get a visit from the authorities. Here you're not. Unless free speech gets into a point where it becomes really, really extreme and turns into hate speech. Hate and violent speech. And that's another thing people don't understand either. The difference between free speech and hate/violent speech.
Previously criticized for social media activity that included liking posts that disparaged the Black Lives Matter movement, mocking coronavirus mask wearing as a Democratic Party conspiracy, and echoing former President Donald Trump baseless claims of voter fraud in the 2020 election. So there's all this kind of stuff.
What was that?
Here's the point. And this is why I guarantee you this is never going to trial because it's going to get dismissed. I guarantee it's going to be dismissed.
I agree with
I say that, and I mentioned this yesterday.
I think he's right.
I say that cognizant of the fact that there may be things that none of us know about, right? Like, I'm only saying that based on all the information that we have publicly available to us. Based on all the information we have publicly available to us, I guarantee you this is never going to go to trial. In a month or two, the Disney attorneys are going to file a motion to dismiss, and the judge is going to throw this out. Unless there is that stuff that we have to be aware may exist that we don't know about. Like, I don't know, for all I know, maybe Bob Iger got on the phone with every other casting person in Hollywood and said, Gina Carano kills baby kittens in their sleep. And she drinks the blood of kitty cats, and she does all this, and nobody in this business should work with her. Okay, like if that happened, which we don't know about, that's not part of the public record, but I'm saying if that happened, well, then there is going to be some foundation for Gina Carano bringing a lawsuit against Disney. And maybe that stuff exists. I'm only commenting on the stuff that we have publicly available to us, okay? But simply based on the stuff that we have publicly available to us, this isn't going to go to court. This isn't going to go to court. The judge is going to throw this out immediately. A couple things. And here's why. Nobody anywhere interfered with her right to free speech. Right to free speech means you cannot be prosecuted by the government for speaking your opinion and speaking your mind on an opinion, right? And nowhere in here, the Disney has no power to stop her from saying whatever she wanted on Twitter. She could go on Twitter. She could go into the town square. She could go anywhere she wanted and say her opinion. Nobody was stopping her. Nobody's stopping her. She could go and say her opinion anywhere she wants. However, freedom goes both ways. We've talked about this on the show a lot. Freedom is a two-way street. So like some of you watching, you may have gone, I stopped watching the Oscars because I don't like it when the actors get up there and talk about their political opinions. So I don't watch. Okay. See, you're free to not want to watch the Oscars. You're not infringing on the actor's free speech. The actor can still get up and say whatever they want.
Yeah.
But you have a choice that you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to.
Yeah.
Right? Right? Absolutely, you have that freedom. You also have the freedom to not be associated with something somebody else says. You have that freedom, right? You have that freedom. And Disney, which you know my basic philosophy. Look, just to be clear, my basic philosophy in life right now is fuck Disney. Disney can go right fuck themselves for all I care, especially with their money gouging predatory theme parks and everything. But anyway, we won't go into that whole rant right now.
Oh my God.
We won't go into all that.
I'm gonna clip that.
Disney has every right to say, as an individual body, to say, we don't want to be associated with the stuff you're saying. The comparison is this, and I mentioned this yesterday, but it's a perfect comparison. Let's say you decide to throw a dinner party at home. You're gonna have a few people over, and your mom, your delightful mom, is one of your guests. And you also invite me to come to your dinner party in your house.
Oh man. Can you imagine if I can't
So I come to your dinner party.
Hey, Degrassi.
And at some point in the middle of dinner, I decide to stand up, point at your mom, and say, I think your mom's a whore.
Oof.
So here's the question.
If you say that, you're gonna get punched in the face.
Do you, as the host of this dinner party,
No. You get punched
do
in
you
the
have
face.
the right to ask me to leave?
Yes.
But if you ask me to leave, your dinner party, are you treading on my right to free speech? Aren't you oppressing my right to express my opinion that I think your mother, I'm sure your mother is truly a saint. I'm just saying, for the example of the story, that you are oppressing my right to free speech to stand up, point at your mom and say, I think she's a whore. Of course not. You have every right to throw me the hell out of your house.
I'll punch you.
I'd be lucky, especially if you had some brothers and cousins there.
Yeah, you'll get
I'd be
beat up.
lucky if I'd be leaving your house in anything other than a body bag.
Yeah, he's right.
The
He's
point
right.
is that I have the right to say, I think your mother's a whore, and you have the right to not want me to be a part of your dinner party if I'm going to say that. And you have the right to either politely ask me to leave or throw me the hell out of your house. I still have the right to say what I want to say, but you have the right to not be around me when I do it. You have the right to not let me be a part of your dinner party that you are throwing and is your house, and you have the total right to throw me the hell out of your house. The freedom goes both ways. I have the freedom to say it. You have the freedom to disassociate yourself from me.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not in a body bag, but you have the freedom to disassociate yourself from me. That's the way freedom of speech works, folks. It's freedom of speech, not freedom from consequences. And freedom of speech means the government cannot oppress your ability to speak your opinion, but everybody else has the right to say, we want to have nothing to do with what it is you're saying.
Yeah.
Just like if you don't like actors giving their political opinions at the Oscars, you have the right to tune them out. Are you oppressing that actor's free speech? No, you're just deciding, I don't want to have anything to do with that. And that's your freedom too. Disney in this case, and again, fuck Disney, but Disney in this case, they have the right to say, listen, we're a business. And Gina Carano is not our employee. She is a free will contractor as an actor. And we have a business to do. And we feel that what Gina Carano is doing on social media, whether you agree with her or not, whether you agree with her is not relevant. If Disney as a business says, we feel what she is doing on social media is hurting us as a company, we don't want to be associated with what she's saying, and we think what she's doing is going to hurt our business, then guess what? Disney has the right to say we don't want to be associated with her. That's not trampling on her free speech any more than you throwing me out of your house is trampling on my free speech. She has the right to say what she wants. Disney has the right to react to it the way they want. And all that's going to happen in this court case, it's never going to become a court case, is Disney's going to go to a judge. They're going to submit a thing for dismissal. They're going to ask for a dismissal. They're going to say Disney is a big business. They felt that Gina Carano was going to hurt their business, and they decided not to work with her anymore. And the judge is going to go, yeah, case dismissed. It's going to be that simple, unless, of course, there's other things that you and I don't know about yet that's a little bit more nefarious. If that's the case, then maybe it does go forward. But it is what it is. Now, Elon Musk is bankrolling her little lawsuit, right? And in some ways, I'm a very big Elon Musk fan. I drive 2 of his cars. He's one of the foremost, he has been one of the foremost voices in climate change, in the need to push our culture towards renewable energy, a lot of science.
Yeah, I agree here, Degrassi. You could agree with people you don't like. It's nothing wrong. It's not. There's nothing wrong with that. You can also disagree with people you do like, right? It's good, right? Nothing wrong with that at all, right? And I think you do agree with him here. That's what you're basically saying here. Yeah. Because he is right. He is right. He is right in the Gina Carano thing situation. He is right. And I do agree with him. This probably will not go to trial. This will probably be thrown out. And also, this is in California, right? If it's in... Right? So more of a... If it's in... Yeah, and that's just going to lose. Yeah. And that's what you're going to lose.
Scientific advancement. There's a lot of things that Elon Musk has done and does that I really appreciate. He may have run Twitter into the ground, but there's a...
And here's the thing. If she ever thought about coming back, if she, has her coming back and, making amends, doing all that, changing her race, whatever, it ain't gonna, right? This is not gonna, this is basically saying, yeah, we're never gonna even basically give you a second chance. We're not gonna give you a second chance. Not like Mel Gibson. She's done. This is the coffin. This is the nail in the coffin. She's not canceled, but if ever she thought she's trying to make a Hollywood comeback, this basically ends that notion.
There's a lot of things about
Elon. Sue a major studio, like Disney and other studios, not just studios, but people, regular people know what she said was wrong. And she says a lot of crazy stuff, a lot of hurtful stuff, a lot of wrong stuff. She's done for. Her lawyers recast and rehire. I think she wants to come back for the role. I think that's what she wants. But yeah, because recast and rehire is 2 different things. So that you all know, if you don't know what the difference is. A recast is somebody else taking on the role of Cara Dune, right? And a rehire is her coming back being Cara Dune again. That's the 2 differences. And if a lawyer if two lawyers who had to go to school, become a lawyer for a long time, don't know the difference between recast and rehire, then you're probably hired two pretty bad lawyers. Yeah, they probably hired. She probably got Elon Musk probably got very bad lawyers, and that's not and that actually may cost her too, because she said I think she wants to be higher, but be looking at the lawsuit, all the judge and they'll be like, do you mean rehire? Or they'll be like, it specifically says recast, and the judge will be like, recasting and be like a different actor. Yeah, like she's stupid. It is hilarious. I did see it. I did see the rehire. I did see the recasting. I did see that. Yeah.
Elon Musk that I appreciate very, very much. But make no mistake about it, Elon Musk is getting involved in this because Disney pulled their advertising from X, formerly known as Twitter. And Elon Musk has been looking for a way to try to get back at them. This isn't going to work. This isn't going to work. But
Elon Musk's way trying to get back at Disney is trying to go through Gina Carano or even buying Disney, right? He's interested. Oh, maybe I should buy you. Responded to a tweet about Elon Musk, the idea of Elon Musk buying Disney. First of all, this is what happened. Disney's not for sale. The board, Bob Iger, they're not going to sell it. And if they are going to sell it, the number one person on their mind is not going to be Elon Musk. They're not going to give it to Elon Musk, okay? Because they know Elon Musk, everything Elon Musk does not turn to gold, okay? Look at X. Has not turned to gold. Ever since he took over Twitter, X has actually gone the opposite direction, okay? Right? And Elon Musk is, yeah. Okay, thank you. I'm going to check it now. Okay. Online bully mod with their extreme progressive ideology. She doesn't get it. She doesn't get what was the final straw. She doesn't get. She doesn't get it. She just doesn't get it. Yeah. Thank you, Degrassi. But Elon Musk, man. First of all, yeah, she wins even if she loses. First of all, Elon Musk, there's gonna be a lot. I guarantee you, Elon Musk takes over. There's gonna be a lot of change and not a positive direction. People are not going to want to work with Disney. I tell you one thing: if Elon Musk comes around, people are not going to want to work with Disney. Okay, because I'm telling you, Elon Musk is going to sell Twitter at some point. He's going to sell X. Next 2 to 5 years, X will have a new owner. Okay.
I mean, Elon Musk got really mad that so many advertisers left Twitter, and he's got a hard on or a hate on, I should say, for Disney. And so
Elon Musk spends too much time on X. Good Lord.
He figured this is some way to try to stick it to them, but it's not going to work. It's going to get thrown out by a judge immediately. And here's one of the other interesting things about this. And this is where I go, are you like certifiably insane? One of the things in her lawsuit that she's bringing against Disney is she wants a court to rule that Disney has to hire her back. Disney doesn't use the character anymore. No court can tell a movie studio, put this character into your movie. They don't use the character anymore. So like Rob and I were talking about this after our show today. It would be different.
You know why she probably wants to come back? She probably heard about the Mandalorian and Grogu movie and be like, you know what? I want to be in this movie. This is so Disney. And I'll be right back. I'm going to refill my drink. Okay, so yeah, I'm back. I'm sorry, I forgot to mute myself. Sorry.
If, like, say, they still had the character and brought in another actress to play her, so that job is still there, and then maybe she could ask to get that job back. But what Disney and Lucasfilm decided to do was just write the character out. No studio can tell, or no court can tell a studio you have to put a character back in your show.
Yeah.
I mean, that's literally stupidity to even ask for that. That's literally stupid.
Who the fuck is the lawyers here? Like, seriously, where do these lawyers go to law school? Like, seriously. Stealing my predictions? When you Oh yeah. Yeah.
Stupidity to ask for that. So again, she was not an employee. She's a free will contractor that was asked to stop making certain social media posts because the company felt it reflected badly on them. She refused, and the company decided that they didn't want to be associated with her anymore because they felt she was going to hurt their business. It's that simple, guys.
Here's the thing. These right-wingers think these companies only go after them because of the social progressive woke views, right? And they don't comply with them, so they'll cancel them. Here's the thing. These companies will go after the extreme left too. If they think the extreme left progressive views are to a point where it's offensive and like too extreme, they'll get rid of them too if they have to. If they have to. Okay? So if this is not just a right thing. This is not just a right thing agenda here, man.
Guys, it's just that simple. And the only time it's not simple is when some people like agree with what she said, but that's not what this is about. It's not about what.
Oh yeah. Oh, Blinded. You should see what he called Blinded. You should see what Campea called Carano, a talented D-list actress with no talent. Yeah. Oh yeah, man. Of course.
Whether you agree,
she's become like Dean Cain, Kevin Sorbo, James Woods, Randy Quaid, Rob Schneider. She's like the female version. She becomes a female version of that. And there's other female sides that become a cracks, right?
with what she said or not. It's about whether you as an individual or a company, whatever, has the freedom to choose not to want to be associated with what somebody else says or does. I'm sorry, guys, but it's just that simple. And you can agree with what she said, and that's fine. And she still has the freedom to say it all she wants. But just again, if I come into your dinner party and call your mom a whore, you're not oppressing my free speech if you throw me out of your house. You are acting totally within the rights that you have and the freedoms you have to not want to be associated, not have your dinner party associated with me standing there calling your mom a whore. Like I said, if you had cousins there too, I'd be lucky if I made it out in a body bag. So That's my whole thing on this. This is never going to get to trial. It's going to be thrown out immediately as soon as they bring a motion to dismiss, unless there's other things we don't know about.
Well, this is 22
And
minutes.
if there is other things we don't know about, that is more nefarious, then Disney deserves to get sued. But if it's based on everything we've just have in front of us as the facts that is publicly
Campea, why has a Campea sued Disney?
available to all of us, this isn't going to go anywhere. And I defy you to find one single legitimate legal analyst anywhere that says this was going to go anywhere.
So
They're all going to tell you that it's not. So
that really a thing?
anyway, that's just kind of the thing on this. And again, remember, we're just talking about the facts here.
Here's the thing. Degrassi, right? She comes from MMA, UFC background. Most MMA, UFC is definitely conservative, right? It's conservative, right? So I'm not surprised. Did she really do that? Did she really do that, Ben Shapiro? Yeah, the thing is, why would Ben Shapiro hire her after that picture with the Germany Holocaust compared to Republicans? Why would Ben Shapiro, who's so outspoken about being Jewish, right, hire someone like that? Seriously. I don't care if he's right wing conservative. It's a human decency thing, right? Like seriously, he would yeah, beneficial for him. Yeah, it was a grift for him. Yeah, a wealthy family. It was. Yeah, it was a grift. Yeah, it was a grift. Pretty much.
I don't care whether you agree with the stuff that Gina Carano said. I don't care if you disagree with the stuff Gina Carano said. It's irrelevant. We're just talking about, does this have any merit? And it doesn't. So, yeah, there's just that.
It's
whatever. My kind of opinion on that at any rate. And I'm sure everybody's going to have their own opinions, and we'll see what transpires. And isn't that the truth about everything? We can all have our opinions, but at the end of the day, we're just going to have to wait and see how it actually shakes out. And, we'll see. We'll see. And listen,
is that it?
Again, I was somebody who was really bummed out when I found out we weren't going to get that Rangers of the New Republic show. I was looking forward to that. But you know what?
We are getting that Rangers of the New Republic show, right? With Carson Teva, right? Carson Teva, right? He's doing that. He's going to be the lead, right? He's going to be the lead of that show, right? If I'm correct. Yeah, it was just it was just changed. That's all. Paul, yeah, and hey, let me tell you something. Let me give. Yeah, thank you. And he has YouTube. Let me give you his YouTube channel. I'll put it in the channel. Oh, he also follows me on Twitter. He follows me on Twitter. Here we go. Or and I did meet him. Also, I did meet him. I did meet him at a YouTube event. I did meet him at a wrestling event. A wrestling event. Same wrestling event as as Sasha Banks, Mercedes. I forget her last name. Vernado, who plays Costco Reeves. So I just put that together. Whoa! I met Costco Reeves and Carson Teva at a wrestling event before filming of season 2 of Mandalorian.
Is what it is. All right, guys. With that down, let's get on to the real good stuff here, which is hearing from you. What are the things you guys want to talk about? We're going to start off with the tip link questions that people have sent in over the last 24 hours, and then we'll go over and start taking your live questions that you guys have been sending in, shall we? All right.
Grab the Taco Bell grilled cheesy burrito. Savor the flavor, savor the moment.
Oh, you want to start? This is our message from the beginning.
We'll start things off here with, that's the wrong one. We'll go over here instead. All right. Chicken Parm. I love your username already. I absolutely love your username already. Chicken Parm writes, let me make sure I get this right first. There we go. Okay. Are you excited for NHL players returning to the Olympics in 2026? Yes. Not as excited about the 4-team tournament next year, but it will serve as a good warm-up. Finland for gold. Canada for cold, baby. But here's the thing. I really do believe professional athletes should be allowed to be a part of the Olympics all the time. The Olympics is about bringing your best, not just your best who don't happen to earn a living from it. I believe the Olympics is about every country bringing their best and putting the best representation of their athletic greatness in whatever field it is. So yeah, I like it when pro players, whether it's basketball, hockey, whatever other discipline, I know some people feel that Olympics should only be for amateurs, but I disagree. I think the spirit of the Olympics is about every country bringing their best. And in some cases, the best is going to be professionals. So yeah, I kind of like that. We're going to get the NHL players in the Olympics again. All right. Logan James Kynaston. Logan's been a viewer of mine for a very long time, actually. I see his name pop up once in a while, but for years. Anyway, hey, John, tonight I went to see my niece in her high school play of Chicago. Wow.
Okay,
fun fact, it's the same high school that Sir Patrick Stewart attended. Nice. One of the school...
Okay. We're done with this. It's almost 12 o'clock. Who should I do? Okay. I don't know if I should do Doom. I'm gonna do one Doomcock video. Then we're gonna be finished with, because I want to go sleep earlier than usual. Okay. Let me get this up. We're gonna go Dumbcock, or as Degrassi likes to call him, Derpcock.
Video. We are winning the war to save pop culture from the cultural vandals that assail it, but we need your help. Please subscribe to this channel and ring the notification bell, and from time to time check to make sure you haven't been unsubscribed by YouTube without your and every sequel, Star Wars X, The Revenge of Cara Dune.
Revenge
I
of
say
Cara
Star
Dune.
Wars X, not only because
Star
this
Wars
would be
X,
the
The
10th
Revenge of Cara
film,
Dune.
but also because this particular Star Wars sequel about a wronged woman coming to redeem her name and punish those who screwed her over is brought to you by X, namely Elon Musk, the worst enemy Bob Iger ever made. And yes, the man who famously told Bob Iger to go fuck himself. Hence, Star Wars X. This is a massively big deal.
You really think Bob Iger is scared of Elon Musk? I guarantee you Bob Iger is 1,000 times smarter than Elon Musk. Okay? Because if Elon Musk was any sign of intelligence, he would know going to this is a losing battle. And he's just wasting his money. Doomcock.
Deal, folks, because for years now, Star Wars fans have been clamoring for Gina to take revenge on those who wronged her at Disney.
Star fans do not care about Gina. Okay, we have. I think the most of talk about Star people in the last 2 or 3 years was Mando, Ahsoka, or even Obi-Wan, the original Star Wars, Ray. Nobody really cares about Gina. You didn't even talk about Andor. Nobody cares about Cara Dune.
And this has the potential to harm not only Bob Iger in his bid to keep Nelson Peltz from getting a seat on the Disney board and forcing Disney to step away from woke politics and
Yes. If you don't know the TV series, you don't sign on for 2 or 3 seasons. You sign on for 1 season, right? You always get you get renewed. They will renew for every season, right? It's like an option, right? It's like like in sports. In some sports, you have you sign a player to a contract for 2 or 3 years, but also there's an option for a 4th or 5th year, right? Right? It's like that, basically.
become a for-profit company again. It could also finally expose Kathleen Kennedy's villainy to the entire world, a prospect that must have Miss Kennedy quaking in her pointy-toed shoes. In this video, I'm going to share Gina Carano's announcement yesterday on X and then discuss why this is potentially disastrous news for Kathleen Kennedy in light of earlier rumors about Kennedy's emails. Then, after posting this video, I'm going
to tell you one thing. I'm going to do something for you guys. I'm going to do this video on this. I'm going to do another video on this or stream on this exact same video of Doomcock once we get the results of the supposed lawsuit, because I just wanted to embarrass him, because he's already doing it to himself, but I just want to embarrass him even more.
Following up immediately with another video a few hours later explaining my view of what the hell really happened yesterday in advance of Pop Culture Breakdown tonight at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern, when I and my panel will be discussing Gina's lawsuit, Elon's maneuverings, and the Disney investor call happening later today. My friends, I told you that this Disney board proxy war was going to heat up, and by God, it certainly has.
This shit is insane, dude. Absolutely insane. Events are unfolding at breakneck speed. Heat it up. The Disney proxy wars have. But I don't understand the Kennedy email angle. Could you elaborate, Doomcock? What the hell does Kennedy have to do with this?
Kennedy is widely believed to be the chief architect behind Gina's dismissal from Lucasfilm, and I strongly suspect that this move by Gina is not only an attempt to clear her name and point out to the world how shady Disney was to smear her as they allegedly did without reason, but also a grand opportunity to expose what Kennedy did, how she operates, and punish her in a way she has never been punished before. This move by Gina Carano lends a great deal of credence to an earlier rumor that circulated a few months back. A rumor that originated, as near as I can tell, from drunk 3PO, who is friends with Gina and would certainly know, if anyone does. More on all of that in a moment. But first, let's allow Gina Carano to speak for herself. On Twitter
3PO,
X, Gina posted the following message.
Are you serious?
Quote, "Today is an important day for me. I am filing a lawsuit against Lucasfilm and Disney. After my 20 years of building a career from scratch and during the regime of former Disney CEO Bob Chapek, Lucasfilm made this statement on Twitter, terminating me from The Mandalorian. Gina Carano is not currently employed by Lucasfilm, and there are no plans for her to be in the future. Nevertheless, her social media posts denigrating people based on their cultural and religious identities are abhorrent and unacceptable. Nothing could be further from the truth. The truth is I was being hunted down from everything I posted to every post I liked because I was not in line with the acceptable narrative of the time. My work."
There's the here. Yeah, exactly, Degrassi. There's the thing, the narrative word. That's going to cost you the lawsuit. That's also going to cost you a lawsuit. And Gina, that post, a lot of people were hurt. A lot of Jewish people were hurt with that post. I was watching Max's stream last night. I don't know if you saw Degrassi because you could have been watching Bruce's first stream. But you know in our stream there's Larry, right? Larry. And his last name, right? It's Jewish. You can tell he's Jewish. It's a very Jewish name. And he admitted he was hurt by that post. Okay? So, there are people... So, there were people that were hurt. Okay?
Words were consistently twisted to demonize and dehumanize me as an alt-right wing extremist. It was a bullying smear campaign aimed at silencing, destroying, and making an example out of me. The thing is, I never even used aggressive language. I shared thought-provoking quotes, pictures, memes, and occasionally I used my own words, not with aggression, but with respect and the occasional comedy to keep the mood light in dark times. Look with your own eyes at what I posted and ask yourself, for example, where did I compare Republic?
Here's a problem. When you're opposite, when you expose your opposite, when you work with people, right, in a company, sports teams, business, movie sets, whatever. When you have people you work with have opposite views, happens all the time, but you expose your opposite views, right, to a point where it's hurtful, it's not going to create a positive atmosphere, okay? People are not going to want to work with you, feel comfortable working with you, okay? Now, I understand Degrassi. But I'm just saying, like, you gotta the atmosphere, man. Whatever. Okay.
To the Jewish people in the Holocaust. I didn't. Ask yourself why they were calling me a racist. Was there any merit behind that or history of it whatsoever? No. Look at why I was called a transphobe for making droid noises from Star Wars. Beep, pop, boop was obviously directed to the online bullies and did not in any way
fuck. This definitely has to be CT because she doesn't get it. She clearly doesn't get it. She doesn't get it. Okay.
Denigrate transgender people. Were my questions about masks, lockdowns, and forced vaccines okay to ask and push the subject into the light? Should we have been allowed to publicly discuss these topics at a time without being harassed or censored? Absolutely. Hollywood says they support female representation and equal rights. Why then were my male co-stars permitted to speak without harassment and re-education courses or termination? But I was not afforded the same right to exercise my freedom of speech. Artists...
Because your co-star, Patrick Pascal, and all these people, these right-wing grifters, on YouTube and on social media, go after Patrick Pascal, right? For what he said on Twitter, or X, whatever you want, Twitter at the time. But here's the thing. He talked to Disney. He did what he had to do. He talked to Disney, and he accepted. And he hasn't got himself trouble. Okay. Since. Okay. Patrick Pascal basically, well, I forgot the word. Oh, basically, not reasoned, but understood Disney. Understood. He worked with them. He understood. Okay. And nothing there. Gina obviously didn't understand. Obviously didn't get that. Doesn't understand what freedom of speech means. Clearly. Because if they knew what freedom of speech, if they would truly knew what freedom of speech is, they would clearly love living in North America, because the rest of the, especially the east part of the world, you don't have freedom of speech.
Do not sign away our rights as American citizens when we enter into employment. I've spoken to all my co-stars since I was fired, and there is nothing but care and kind words between us. I respect their right to free speech and do not have to think the same on every issue to be their friends and work with them. And I
guarantee you, Pedro Pascal doesn't want to work with her. Okay? Pedro Pascal doesn't want to work with her. I guarantee you Pedro Pascal does not want to work with her, okay? Okay? Rosario Dawson Pub does not want to work with her. Okay? Okay? Mando and Ahsoka, two of the biggest companies in the universe right now. They probably don't want to work with her, right? Probably don't want to work with her. Okay? There's two right there. Two of the big stars don't want to probably work with her ever. Okay? And I'm sorry, but Ahsoka and Mando are bigger to the overall story than Cara Dune.
feel the same towards me. Here's where we get to the good part, folks. A couple of months ago, Elon Musk tweeted that if you had been fired from using the platform X for exercising your right to free speech, he would like to offer these people legal representation.
Can Disney takes it all the way? Yeah, could Disney sue her? Can they sue her? Because they should get this thrown out, man. There should be no settlement. There should be no court hearing. It should just be thrown out. Okay. Can they sue her?
invitation. Quite the noble offer, but never in my wildest dreams would I have thought anyone would take on my case against Lucasfilm and Disney. Still, I did respond back, I think I qualify, and thousands of people agreed, but I did not expect anything. To my surprise, a few months ago, I received an email from a lawyer who had been hired by X to look into my story and many others. Turns out, after sending them as much information as I could gather these past few months, my now lawyers at X believe wholeheartedly in my case and are moving forward. I would like to express my deepest gratitude and thank you to Elon Musk and X for giving me an opportunity to bring my case to light.
Bravo, Gina! Bravo! I'd stand and applaud, but, well,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
no legs and all that. But now, tell us why this could loop back on Kennedy, Doomcock.
Very well, O Skull of Calderon.
Candy? Are you fucking kidding me? Candy, it's not going to affect Candy. It's not going to affect Bob Iger. It's not going to affect Disney. Because this is a slam dunk case for Disney. A slam dunk case for Disney. This is not one of those cases where it's going to take months and months and months. All right? It's going to be a slam dunk. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I remember that.
Do you remember the rumor about Kathleen Kennedy's emails? As near as I can tell, this rumor first reared its head on a live stream with the YouTuber Drunk 3PO, as recounted in an article by the excellent John Trent on boundingintocomics.com titled Rumor, Nuclear Bomb Full of Emails.
Oh, Bounding Comics, guys. Real legit stuff here.
And notes detailing Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm Story Group's disgusting behavior to be released. In this article, Trent writes, quote, in the wake of Gina Carano putting Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm on blast, a new rumor details that a nuclear bomb of emails and notes about Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm Story Group members revealing their bad behavior will be made public in the near future. Drunk 3PO asserted, the day is coming. The day is coming, and I know the day is coming, where there is a lot of emails, there's a lot of notes that someone has collected. And when you see this, it will blow your face off as to how disgusting this woman is. Kathleen Kennedy and the people that running Lucasfilm, especially over there at the storyboard group.
These guys. Yeah, and that's what's going to be thrown away. These guys hate Kathleen Kennedy so much, they'll find anything, they'll make up anything to try to get dirt on her, right? Dirt on her, right? They'll make up bullshit rumors to get dirt on her. Okay? This is what it is.
So you guys just got a little taste of what's to come, he added. A little bit later during the stream, he added, again, there's something. There's a nuclear bomb that's coming, and just be ready. All of our YouTube channels will benefit once this stuff hits.
Oh, there it is, Degrassi. There it is. All of our YouTube channels will benefit once the stuff hits. I bet you it won't hit.
Unquote. My friends, Gina Carano's lawsuit all but confirms this leak from Drunk 3PO.
It doesn't confirm
According to
anything
Gina,
about this leak.
she was contacted by Elon Musk's lawyer a couple of months ago, which is precisely when Drunk 3PO broke this rumor about Gina being in possession of Kennedy's emails. So it all lines up, folks. This leak was deliberate to let Disney and Lucasfilm and Iger and KK know that Gina was packing dynamite.
You see, when you bring Bounding Comics, and you know there's just lies in there, Disney can countersue Bounding Comics, and he can get Bounding Comics shut down. Okay? They can countersue Bounding Comics for defamation. Okay? Or they could basically get Bounding Comics shut down. They could go after Bounding Comics, and they could go after Drunk 3PO. Okay? They could go after them. Exactly. So, They better be watch out because they have eyes on. They're gonna be okay. They better watch out, man. They better watch out.
Punch followed up by the body blow of a lawsuit, and now they know that Gina means business. She has the goods, and she and Elon Musk are going to pummel Disney for their lack of vision. In this
Lack of
lawsuit,
vision.
Discovery will be the perfect venue to release the emails and see that they are widely read by everyone. What Kennedy's secrets will be exposed? Bad ones, my friends. Very
Hey, Doomcock, didn't you say Kenny was gonna leave after Indiana Jones? Indiana Jones, she's still there, right?
very bad ones if the rumors are true.
They're so desperate. They're so desperate to find any sort of dirt on Kennedy, right? Because everything they tried to say about Kennedy and negatively, they got proven wrong and wrong and wrong, over and over.
Embarrassments galore in a town that feeds on public humiliation like a vampire feeds on blood. Bidding you all, my friends.
Okay, that's enough of Dumbcock. Yeah. Yeah, Disney's I'm gonna say this. This is an easy win for Disney. Slam dunk win for Disney. Elon Musk, Gina Carano has no chance here. And Disney should go after Bounding Comics, the drunk 3PO. Sue them. Because they're okay, and go after them. She's married. Gina Carano. Who? No, she's not married. Nope. Oh. But this is seriously. Oh, okay. Okay. Thanks a lot, guys. Oh, yeah, obviously. But you know what's gonna happen, guys. We know it's just gonna. Disney lawyers are gonna just laugh at him, Gina, and be like, "Yeah, Gina's done. There's no. She does. She doesn't get it. She says like you can have your so-called different views, right-wing views, whatever, but extreme views is what causes you. Extreme views is what causes when you let your extreme views come out. Look. Companies that have seen more liberal, more Hollywood like liberal, will hire right wing people. Will hire right wing people. Tim Allen, right? They'll hire people like Tim Allen, right? But also they make money. They make money too. Also, but if you don't say anything extreme, whether extreme is extreme and hurtful, they'll get rid of you. If your views, okay, because no, companies, it's not just the right thing. No, they'll get rid of Hollywood will get rid of people if they're extremely left. Okay, look at the comedy scene. The comedy scene, man. A lot of comedians got so-called canceled over the years, and most of the comedians are left. Those comedians were left. Even though they're okay, even though they be careful what they say. It's really expressing extreme views on both sides that gets you into trouble. And also, the most important thing to do is not keep your political self to yourself. Keep your political self to yourself, because it will eventually get you in trouble. And it's not just the right thing, thing on the right. Stab it to the left, because the left, I'll say this: the right will turn on the right, the left will turn on the left. They're turning on their own people. Okay. There's no okay. If they okay, it's just how it is, man. But I'm gonna end it here, guys. It's 12 o'clock. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment below. Take care, guys.